Now, it's been 8 years since the passing of struggle icon Nelson Mandela. The anti-apartheid activist died at the age of 95 in Johannesburg. A wreath-laying ceremony and a virtual race will be taking place at the Union Buildings in the honor of his memory today. The Gauteng Premier and Sports MEC are expected to host that particular event, and we've got our reporter Lindokuhle Xulu, who is there at today's proceedings and joins us now. Lindo, many thanks for your time this morning. Just talk us through the proceedings that are set to take place today and whether everything is going according to plan just after 8 a.m. this morning.
Well, we are that particular ceremony that we'll see wreath-laying here at the capital city's Union Building, and I can tell you that dignitaries have started to trickle in. I did see Mayor Randall Williams just arriving, and we're expecting, of course, some of the names that you've mentioned to be arriving here, but it is a ceremony that is sort of landmarking 8 years of the passing of Babu Nelson Mandela. And I'm with the CEO of the foundation, Nelson Mandela Foundation, Babu Sillo Hadang, just to really bring us into speed in terms of what is happening. It's been 8 years, Baba, but just take us through what is happening today.
Well, today is a special day in many ways, but also a sad day because we cannot celebrate Madiba's life in full. And I'm hoping that with what we're doing here today, we'll be able to remind South Africans that we need to fight COVID together, that we tell the global community, for as long as you discriminate against the continent, we won't succeed. Our survival depends on us collaborating, making sure that we can fight this thing. So today, being the 5th of December, we are hoping that we will again just be running and walking for Madiba virtually. And we are saying to those who are doing it at home, please do so. I've just received photos from people in Zambia and people in Tanzania who are running for Madiba. And I'm saying, let's do it from wherever we are, because it's on our shoulders now to help build a country that we dream of. And if we don't do it through activities like this, Madiba's legacy will be forgotten to be the one that cares deeply about those who are vulnerable and the poor.
I want to dwell on that, in fact, the issue of saying that it is together that we will be able to conquer COVID-19. And we know that Babu Madiba stood for humanity. But just take us through then what the messaging should be, the takeaway should be, particularly on that message around COVID-19. We know, of course, that there has been a lot of talks around vaccine hogging. There has been a lot of talks around being discriminated against as a country in terms of identifying the recent Omicron variant. But just give us a sense really of what the messaging today should be about or will be about when it comes to this commemoration of the eighth year of the passing of Babu Nelson Mandela.
I think the key message should be, let's collaborate. Let's ensure that those particularly people in the West, that they do not see us as disease-heavy people. Our infrastructure is advanced enough for us to be able to even identify the new variant. If we could identify it, it means that we are responsible. Thus far, we have proven to the world that we are a leader in terms of making sure that we deal with the disease. So why should you discriminate at a time that we should say, let's unite. Let's make sure that we fight this together. WHO has said what the Western countries are doing is out of order. And I'm hoping that the African countries that have followed suit will also relax these kind of bans that they have come up with. And I think if we are to do anything to ensure that we observe Madiba's legacy, is to go back to how he was trying nation building, reconciliation, making sure that we transform the way we think about others. And I'm hoping that that's what is going to happen today, that we observe the legacy by saying, let's join hands and fight this disease together.
We're out of time, but I want to slot in this final question. There have been those that had been surprised by the fact that there is some form of earmarking of the passing of Babu Nelson Mandela. But I want you to just capture for us very quickly in terms of why it is important that you have such an event for the anniversary of the passing of Babu Nelson Mandela. And I know the messaging speaks for itself, but to those that are at home listening and basically questioning why there should be events like this, give us a sense of why it is important important that we should continue to honor the legacy of Bob Nelson Mandela, including on the day of his passing?
I think we have to accept that South Africa had the gift of the best in the world. And if we don't observe this legacy, who will? If we don't ensure that this legacy is spread across the world, the legacy of values, respect for the law, in terms of ensuring that we care for the vulnerable. Madiba cared deeply about the vulnerable and the poor. Let's do it together.
All right, thank you so much, Mabusilo Hatang, the CEO, of course, of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, capturing for us why it's important to earmark this particular day. But more than anything, the messaging is around using Ubabu Nelson Mandela to say that when it comes to the fight against COVID-19, it should be a collaborative effort and there shouldn't be discrimination when it comes to the African countries, including South Africa.